Good evening and a warm welcome to all of you. The relationship between food and our thoughts is what we are going to understand today because our expert is a nutritionist turned counselor turned psychologist. So it's a quite an interesting combination. So a warm welcome to all of you. My name is Divya Shah and Radio Diva is an initiative that we started now almost 3 years back when the first lockdown happened. And now, of course, many experts have graced the platform and they have shared their experiences with us. So join us and be part of this happy go lucky community. And we all let's be better individuals. That's what we are trying to. So we'll request each one of you, please follow us on Facebook and Insta by the name of Radio Diva and do subscribe to the YouTube channel again by the same name. So we have a quite an interesting speaker with us today. She's someone who was into finance and she has she had a very successful career in finance, which she left for her calling, which was nutrition. And eventually, she delved into psychology also. So she has, more than 10 years of experience as nutritionist, and she has 3 years of experience as psychologist. She is a MSc IT. She has done a PG diploma in clinical nutrition and she has done her master's in psychology. And she's also pursuing her PhD in psychology. So she has, before prior to this, she worked for 8 years in corporate finance. So she chose wellness industry out of pure calling. She wanted to transform lives, and this is what she felt key. This is my calling. So I really found her career, trajectory quite interesting, and I'm so looking forward to learn more from her. What is the connection between the food that we eat and the nutrition, and of course our thought process. So, a warm welcome to you, Madhu. Such an honor to have you with us.
Thank you so much, Divya. That sounds a lot of things. And thanks so much for introducing me. Means a lot. Yes, I'm psychologist and nutritionist, and it's quite fulfilling. I was in finance for a good 10 years. I worked across the globe. I was at UK for Royal Bank of Scotland. I worked at India for Policy Bazaar, to name a few. And also, I had a startup in insurance and digital marketing for a while. Well, it was exciting helping people with their finances. It's quite stressful. Finances can get quite stressful. So it was good enough. However, I was quite passionate about fitness for myself. I used to exercise as a teenager. I remember eating clean since I was a teenager. So that continued, the passion continued, and here I am as a nutritionist and psychologist. Because yes, I got into psychology also because wellness is something like we should get a 360-degree expertise on wellness is what I felt, and I'm very happy being in this space. Yes.
That's wonderful because that's like chasing what you are passionate about, and it's not chasing, it becomes a passion, it becomes a calling. And then getting up early, going to office, going for work doesn't become a punishment. It becomes it's becomes something that you look forward to. So tell us more about your journey, because I'm quite interested to know how this career trajectory happened. I really felt like, when I read about you, I felt like knowing more about you, Madhu. So please go ahead.
Oh, yeah. So it's actually interesting. Like my father is a doctor, right? We are talking in mid 90s and early 2000s. My father was he was a doctor, and I took sciences to continue the legacy. I tried being a doctor, and somehow I couldn't get the branch I wanted. So rather, I took up microbiology in bachelor's degree, and then once I was out of college, I couldn't see, many opportunities being a microbiologist. There were few chances, one of which was biotechnology, but then very few universities offered biotechnology at that point. And the Y2K, if you have heard of Y2K, the computer revolution was happening around that time, and everybody were like getting into information technology. That's how I just got into masters in information technology. And like I thoroughly enjoyed studying information technology at that point because it was the thing. So I studied about telecommunications and the computers and everything exciting, actually. And then I landed my first job in insurance.
But then how
So
did nutrition happen?
yeah, so I was pregnant with my second child, and I was at India. We came back to India from UK. We moved to UK after marriage, and I lived there and I worked there. And we came back, and I was pregnant with my second child. And I was living in a place, Gantok in Sikkim. So, I lived there for a couple of years. So, not many things to do really, as in work wise. I didn't have many opportunities to go out and work. So, and also I was pregnant. So, I thought I'll do something interesting. So, I took up a course in sports nutrition. This was in 2012. So out of interest, I always was interested in wellness and eating clean and fitness. So I took up sports nutrition because I was into weight training and I was very regular at gym before I got pregnant. So I wanted to know more about muscle building and losing your weight after pregnancy and that sort of a thing. So I took up a PG diploma in sports nutrition to help myself. And also I was thinking around what is the right nutrition I can give for my child, the unborn child. Right, I had a toddler who was about 3-4 years, and I was carrying, and that's when I can say kind of my children inspired me to get into nutrition. So it was all about then what can I feed these two little brats. So yeah, my the first child was a brat. He wouldn't eat. He was a fussy eater. So, and also I wanted to feed myself healthy. So that was the drive, I would say, to get into nutrition. And then I came back to Gurgaon. So I got employed by Policy Bazaar, and I was with them for a while, and I worked for a couple of other insurance companies at Gurgaon, because Gurgaon we have a lot of opportunities, and I just you know I was like the first interview I was picked up, and I got a really good leadership role there, and I took it up. However, I was pursuing nutrition like the side gig, right? So helping my friends and family and that kind of a thing. Like whenever I said I was into nutrition, people would just come to me and ask for how do I lose weight? Give me some tips or give me some diet plans, and I would happily do it for them, right? So I had my primary job in finance, and I also helped my friends and family. That's how my nutrition went on. 2019 is when I started thinking around getting into wellness full time. I could see a lot of lifestyle diseases were increasing. Obesity was increasing like never before. And maybe it was always there, but somehow I started noticing more, maybe. So, every other person had one or the other lifestyle diseases, hormone imbalance, thyroid issues, PCOD. And I'm not really sure about the stats, but then that's the time I started noticing. And then I took up nutrition full time since 2019. And towards the end, like in 2020, the COVID anyways happened. So the number of people who would come to me for nutrition assistance increased, and I was also doing it full time now. And around that time, I took masters in psychology because I also felt people are very stressed, and the stress and anxiety and depression was at its peak maybe during the COVID. So that's how I felt mental health is something we cannot, put in hindsight. So I took up masters in psychology. That's my whole journey.
I had this question always in my mind, and I thought you are the best person to answer this. Do our thoughts affect our eating habits and how the food gets digested? Is there a connection between the
Absolutely,
two?
absolutely, absolutely, yes. Um, it's not always what we eat, it's also how we eat, isn't it? So our elders always said, we have to sit down peacefully and, do a little prayer before the food, and how we eat, how peaceful we are while eating, and how we chew our food. There are certain habits that our elders always told us, and most of us practice them, but few of us don't. Like not eating, not drinking water between the meals. You finish your meal and then drink your water. This sort of things, and also yes, our thoughts are very much they influence our body and digestive system, right? So when we are stressed, the first system that it affects is, other than our brain and the nervous system, the next thing it affects is the digestive system. It's going to, wreak a havoc on your digestive system, as in there will be an imbalance in your gut microbes, the bad bacteria and good bacteria as we know them as. So they will sort of go into an imbalance. Even the digestive enzymes, you would not get enough of them. All right. So there is definite connection, and there is a imbalance that happens in your digestive enzymes, and the level of cortisol has a direct effect on your digestive system. So yeah, you should, do mindful eating, be at peace while you're eating, and enjoy your food. Feel some gratitude while you're eating for the kind of food you got that day, and keep your thoughts very positive. And what we eat, should our body also should be able to assimilate it, isn't it? It should take in, and whatever good things we have chose for ourselves that day, that should get into our system also. So there is a direct connection. And also, have you heard about emotional eating? So what happens is, we eat when we are sad, when we are angry, maybe, right? Like you don't know what we are eating, how much what we are putting inside our mouth, right? When we are angry, stressed, or sad, or depressed, or this is called emotional eating. It's not, we are not eating for because we are hungry, not because we need it, but because we just want it, right? So just to make us happy emotionally, we eat it, right? And also, celebration eating is quite common, isn't it? So in every culture, we relate. Food plays a great role in our celebrations, all our celebrations, and it's quite welcome. Like food is definitely a part of culture and celebration. However, moderation is the key. Not overdoing our celebrations is also, moderation is the key, I would say. And also, there are a lot of uh, disorders, diseases that are connected to the stress and digestive system, like IBS. Have you heard of IBS? Irritable bowel syndrome. There is a direct connection of your mind and body there, isn't it? So, and also Crohn's disease. Sometimes even the ulcers, you're stressed, and the stress is putting a lot of, uh, a lot of negative effects are happening on your digestive system due to stress and all this emotional eating that we do, right? So if you're hungry, we know where to stop. If you are sad, do we know where to stop, right? You're not filling your stomach, just stomach there. So yeah,
Right.
positive thoughts,
I have a
mindful.
question. Yeah, so I have a question here, Madhu. So the food, the water, the air, everything that we take in, especially when we are living in a city like Delhi or Mumbai, any metropolitan city, everything is contaminated, everything is adulterated. How do we maintain our health in these times when we know that whatever we are consuming is not, you know, as healthy as it should be?
Yes. Unfortunately, we are living in a day and time where everything is adulterated, right? As in the food, water, air around us, everything is adulterated. We hear this awful stories about milk, eggs, and everything being adulterated.
Milk being injected with hormones, egg
Yeah,
being injected with hormones, and when we consume, somewhere it comes in our mind, whether we like it or not,
is
कि
it the right thing? Yeah.
पता नहीं ये सही है भी कि नहीं, सही खाऊं.
Yeah, is it from the video that I've seen?
हाँ.
Right. Yeah, yeah. A lot of terrible things are happening. So, but I would say maybe this will add some happiness to our thoughts. There are alternative choices that are available in market today, right? Always we should be mindful of our sources. Where is our food coming from, right? We should be very, very mindful of our choices. We should know where the food is coming from. Not just randomly picking things out of the supermarket shelves and aisles. Instead, we should know where the food is coming from. Take it from an organic vendor, maybe farm fresh vegetables and less processed food choices. Organic, certified organic produce is available these days. I know they are little on the pricier side, but then it goes a long way. So, choosing this whole natural food over the processed food is one thing we can do. Always read the labels, right? What is going in our food? We should be aware and we should know what we are putting into our mouth. And Also, my great worry is the children. We adults are somewhere logical, right? We know like too much processed food is not good for us, fast food, etc. But children is something we need to work on, and the early habits, they go a long way. And also, trying to make our surroundings green, always indulge in some sort of gardening in whatever space we have got, right? I personally am doing organic farming recently, which I have started due to this concern of over adulteration. So we could start having some kitchen produce right in our balconies or whatever space we have. The more greenery, the better. We are doing we are helping the environment with fresh air, and even the rainfall is going to be good. So yeah, being good to our ecosystem and being part of the nature, that is the way to go. Yeah.
Amazing. I think, I think all of us will get into that. So, can you give us some tips, some hacks by which we can actually maintain good level of nutrition. And what we eat is either carb, or we are eating protein, because everybody is saying protein these days, so we are eating so much of protein, we are mindful of protein. But what about other minerals that our body needs, like zinc, magnesium? So how do we balance everything?
Yeah. Yeah, so as you said, we are mindful of eating more protein, which is a good change, I must say, because Indian diet is very, very carb centric. So carbohydrate, we overload on it. But then, yeah, we are mindful these days to reduce the, carb intake and increase the protein. Protein need not be just from animal protein. There are a lot of veg protein that we can opt for, like your cruciferous veg, all the legumes and lentils, and the soy products, paneer, tofu. These are all good protein options, non-meat options. Meat is also good. We can go for lean meat, like chicken and fish is good. And yes, rightfully you mentioned that the micronutrients, we call them, right? We are very aware of the macronutrients, which are carbs, protein, and fats. The micronutrients, they go unnoticed, right? They are like very, very important. There are like plethora of disorders that we can get with a deficiency of the micronutrients like zinc and magnesium and potassium, right? So you get them in your veg and fruits. The more colorful, the better, right? So the vibrant, your plate should be very vibrant. All this, the micronutrients, they give a color to the food, right? So simply by choosing all this different colored fruit and veg in our diet, in UK, there is this 5 a day, which means you have to have 5 varieties, either fruits or veg, all in different colors. That is a very simple trick, so to include different varieties of veg and fruit. So micronutrients you pick up from the fruit and veg, and again the whole fruit and veg instead of juices or any canned options. And also go for whole grains, millets, right? Your whole flours and unpolished rice, and millets is a rage these days. They're actually good. Yeah. So these are the sources where we get our micronutrients from. Parul has a question.
Yeah, so what is better, soaked dry nuts or unsoaked ones?
Soaked nuts or unsoaked nuts, is it? Is that the question? Yeah. So there are few nuts you can consume as such, as in your cashew, walnuts. You can have them as such. You don't have to soak them. But almonds, yes, you have to soak them because it's always good soaking them and taking off the peel and consuming it. That's the best way of consuming almonds. Other than that, you can have your seeds and nuts, your trail mix as such. Yeah. And chia seeds, they're better off soaked. Flax seeds, soaked, is better. You can have them roasted also. It will just activate the goodness of flax seeds.
There's so much hype about chia seeds. How do how should we have it? Which is
Ah,
best way
yeah,
to have it? What is the best time to have it? How much quantity should we have?
yeah. So the chia seeds, the hype is real.
Is it worth it?
So It actually does a lot of good things to your body. So the chia seeds are nothing but your sabja seeds, like the tulsi seeds. It's just like another form, as in another variety, I would say. It's the English variety of our sabja seeds. So the sabja seeds are also equally good, let me tell you that, because it's like local food. We can root for sabja seeds as well. So what they do is they have again your micronutrients. They're good in micronutrients. They also give you protein. They can get added to your protein, less quantity, but yes, you do get that. And the best way to have them is soak them in water for an hour, right? So they have this natural tendency of bulging up, and it will release all the good things in itself. So yeah, soak it in water for 1 hour and consume. Drink the water, and the all the goodness is in the water. Consume the water along with the swollen seeds. Right? It also helps you lose weight because it gives you a feeling of fullness. So the ideal time to have it is between the meals. Again, it should not mess with your digestive system, right? As in it will mess with the digestive enzymes. So between the meals, an hour after meal is when you can have it.
So we kept asking our question, is there anything specific, Madhu, that you want to share with us? Any tips, anything that you think that we should follow to keep our health to optimum, besides exercising, besides walking?
Yeah. So yeah, we speak about balanced meal, and the choosing the right macros for your body. You need to understand this is something any nutritionist can help you with, right? Choose the macros, as in how much amount of carbs and protein and fats your body needs according to your activity and metabolism and other factors goes into it. So you choose your macros and stick to it, and you consume your meal, right? And that can change, right? According to your BMI, basal metabolic rate, BMR, it can change. Other thing is, of course, exercise, right? And we cannot do without it. Be active, keep moving. Every small movement helps. It all adds up, right? Your 10,000 steps and activity, and your exercise. And other thing I would strongly recommend is pranayama and meditation. It is like elixir to your body, mind, and soul. You should start practicing and teach your kids, and let everybody learn it. So calmer mind, and your mindful eating, everything will start from there. So I would suggest, like, include that breathing exercises and meditation in your routine. And yeah, learning yoga will go a long way. Yeah, organic produce, and yeah.
Sounds perfect. I think all of us are super inspired right now.
All right,
Just
that's
looking at,
good.
your commitment to health. So, Rima, Priyanka, any questions, Sonika? Sonika has all the answers. She really works on her health big time.
Does she? All right,
Yeah.
I would love
Yeah.
to hear.
She is a yoga freak and she really takes care of her health very well.
All right.
Yes, I can vouch for everything what she said was like amazing. Like I was thinking that this should be the answer, this should be the answer, and thank God I was correct. So
Thank you.
I am I
Great.
can't hear you. Hello?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
Sonika.
Sonika, I'm so happy to hear that. I'm so happy to hear that. And I heard from Divya that you're a yoga pro. So sometime we'll talk about
Yeah.
yoga. So I love.
Yes, yes.
Oh, thank you, Parul. Thank you, Parul, for your lovely comment. And yes, I love yoga. And I try to do it at least once or twice a week because I'm more of a weight weight training person, and calisthenic is a form of exercise I root for. Yeah, but I do
That's
yoga
great.
once or twice a week. So there's a question from Rima.
Any tips for diabetics?
Yes. So, it has become a pandemic, sadly, at India. And I would say all the rice eating and the carb-centric nations in Asia, it has become a epidemic. So, what I would say is they might have heard about reducing the carbs and rice, roti, and the sugars. They have heard about it from their doctors. I would like to also say we need to keep an eye on the glycemic index of the food, right? As in, not just carb, as in we cannot generalize all the carbs and say that they're all bad. We need certain amount of carbs, right? So, but then we have to choose complex carbs, the whole food that I was talking about, anything which has which is whole, as in whole wheat, and unpolished rice variety. These are okay because these are complex carbs. They come with the goodness of fiber and all the micronutrients. So they can go for the complex carbs. Also have an eye on glycemic index. The glycemic index is it's a rating that's given to a food, that is how quickly it has been absorbed, and it is in our blood, right? So the spike of sugar in your blood happens when it is like instantly absorbed, and it spikes up the sugar in your blood. So we need to have an eye on the glycemic index. The higher, the better. Right. So always look for such food. The whole food, less processed, is any day better. And millets are wonderful. The bajra, jowar, and ragi, and these are lovely food. I don't know. We are just gone past all these traditional foods. So go back to the millets and make rotis, and make a multi-grain of this millets and whole wheat, and you can consume that, because you cannot avoid food that we've been consuming all our lives, right? So we don't have to go off it, but then moderation, and also whole food, and have an eye on glycemic index. Yes.
And also avoid stress. I think
Of
stress is
course.
also causing a lot of health issues.
Of course.
Thank you so much, Madhu. That was nice.
Most
Was
welcome.
That was a good change for us, because we mostly do mental health sessions, and just knowing about nutrition, knowing about our own body, knowing about millets, about the seeds, about everything related to nutrition was awesome. And just listening to you was so soothing. Your voice is so soothing.
Oh, thank you so much.